So I'm downtown. I'm about to go into that big ass building right there, and I'm gonna go deliver a speech in it. So keep watching. First off, I'm glad to be speaking to an audience of several thousand people. This is amazing. Thank you for showing up. You in the back, good to see you. Shh, don't tell anybody that. It's just a few people. The camera can't pick that up. So, I don't know if I have properly introduced myself, but just in case I haven't, my name is Adam Rose, and I'm here to save the world. I am fully serious about that, and believe you me, I am fully aware as well that I'm a complete goofball. In fact, I find it pretty painful how goofy I am much of the time. So I'll wear a hat that fits. But let me tell you something. We need goofballs, not saints. The more I can celebrate my ridiculousness, the less pressure I feel about pulling off the greatest endeavor in human history. Further, one of the reasons we think saving the world is impossible is because we are totally ridiculous creatures trying to be serious, and it just doesn't work. The truth is, I know everyone in this room is totally ridiculous too. And the more you own that, the better position you'll be in to help save the world. I'll tell you, to me, there's no scarier costume in the world than a suit and tie, or the pantsuit if you're a woman. That has got the stink of seriousness written all over it. And look at the trouble people in suits and ties are causing around this world. They make the biggest decisions, yet they do the least amount of real work, somehow believing they have risen above doing things like laundry, yard work, and cooking. While there are, of course, exceptions, this is a generality I will stand by. Now, I want to ask you all a question. How many of you are Christians in here? And how many of you are familiar with the line from the New Testament, "You are your brother's keeper"? Everybody heard that one? Am I wrong, or does this mean that we all have a responsibility towards one another? Do these words simply imply that we have to look out for our family and nobody else? Or is it implied here that we are all one human family and that we all have a responsibility towards one another? Now, that's a rhetorical question. I know the answer. There's no debate about this. We do have a responsibility towards one another. The problem is basically that we are overwhelmed with our own survival, such that we feel we have little energy to help others. And as I stated the last time I spoke, even the methods we are using, specifically in the form of charities, are simply not working. Again, over 1 million charities in the world, which equates to trillions of dollars and hundreds of millions or billions of hours of time, yet look at this sorry state of affairs. The last time I was up here, I was posited that I might alienate my potential audience by stating how crappy the world is. In fact, I feel guilty saying that when there are parents of small children in the room. But we're not going to make any progress by denying the reality of the world. I myself have a son whom I care so deeply about that it makes this effort worthwhile for me. And it is because I see the reality of the world that I am motivated to fight for him. So let me offer you a few statistics. Let me offer you a few statistics about what is happening to your brothers and sisters as we speak. Every minute, there's one suicide, actually closer to 3 every 2 minutes. Every minute, there's a murder. Every minute, there are 15 children born with birth defects. And every minute, there are 18 starvation-related deaths. Overall, there are 105 people that will die in this next minute throughout the world. Not just this country we need to care about, but the entire world. Some of them come as a relief after a long struggle, yet many are unexpected and tragic. I would be remiss not to include our animal brothers and sisters as well. How many of you have pets? Just you? Just you? And need to inform you that 280,000 animals are being slaughtered for food every minute, which equates to 4,800 per second. It's hard to even imagine 280,000 people, but 4,800 animals per second are being slaughtered for food. Now people, you can tell me that there's a way to excuse this or come up with some idiotic explanation that everything is okay, and is going according to God's plan. But if this is God's plan, you can have that God, but I want the real one. I want the God whose only plan, in light of what I just shared with you, is to correct this situation without delay. Our position must be to assume that all of our brothers and sisters who are suffering are victims, and not to use karma as a cop-out. Everyone understand what karma means? Love, cause, and effect? In other words, we are no longer to see them as victims of their own choices. If you are so confident that people are suffering their own karma, tell that to the parents of a teen who just committed suicide. I dare you, and I hope you get smacked or even worse. We can let universal justice deal with criminals, but we need to choose to see everyone who is suffering, including animals, as victims of an insane world. That is the right outlook. But just as calling everyone in a suit and tie a scary monster is an overgeneralization, we have to approach every situation with discernment. Of course, that means we are not to try to help people who refuse our help, and it means that we will often see that there is little we can directly do for others. Which means what? Our brothers and sisters are suffering and we cannot deny them. Yet what can we do? First of all, allow yourself to care enough to the point that you are deeply disturbed and cannot just forget about them, and you can no longer be mired in your own self-obsession. No one wants to feel this way, but until you are deeply disturbed, your thinking will continue to be superficial and cliche. You'll merely repeat the words of others and continue to funnel your money and energy into things which demonstrably do not work. Once you are disturbed, you will begin to ask the right questions. Your delusions will come apart quickly. And if you stick with it, the insanity of the human condition will become entirely apparent to you, and you will realize that the phony self that once existed was there to protect you from seeing the blatant truth of reality. So unfortunately, my time is limited, so I cannot offer you the solution. But perhaps this is a good time to stop, as the truth needs to be delivered in increments you can handle and process. I'm not merely another voice that screams of the insanity without offering a solution. And further, I believe it is amoral to instill fear without offering you hope as well. As we see the world as it is, we also arrive at self-knowledge and are able to see the bright future of humanity as well. The knowledge of myself is that I may in truth be a star in heaven, but here I am a goofball. And God is more than happy to take the hand of a goofball and make them an instrument of her will. Amen. Thank you, everybody.